Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into the Ethereum name service, ENS, but we're looking way past just simple digital nicknames.
Yeah, we're really talking about ENS names as foundational assets, digital real estate almost, and maybe most importantly, scarce cultural symbols.
Right, so ENS, it takes those super long, complex blockchain addresses.
Yeah, impossible to remember.
Exactly, and turns them into something human readable, like actual words. But the sources we looked at suggest something deeper, right? That certain names, especially short ones, represent these big opposing ideas within the decentralized web.
That's the core idea. You have these two philosophical poles. And today we're focusing on two specific examples that really highlight this duality.
Okay, let's get into it. Our mission here is to explore that split by comparing H2O.eth and B2B.eth.
Water and business to business. Seems like an odd pair at first glance.
It does. You've got like the essence of life, nature flow on one side, and then the very structured world of commerce on the other.
How does looking at water versus business help us understand meaningful coordination on the blockchain? They seem worlds apart.
Well, they are different, and that's precisely why they're useful examples.
Yeah.
H2O.eth, it kind of embodies the public good, the shared resource idea.
Right.
Whereas B2B.eth is all about the enterprise side, the commercial networks. By comparing them, we can see how ENS can potentially organize, well, almost all kinds of human activity online.
All right, let's start with part one then. Scarcity and the power of meaning. We know short ENS names, especially three-character ones, are inherently rare. That creates a baseline value, right? Just collectors wanting them.
Yeah, that scarcity is the starting point. It's like the price of admission. But, and this is crucial, most three-character combinations are just random letters.
Like XQZ.eth or something.
Exactly. What makes names like H2O or B2B truly special and exponentially rarer, according to the sources, is their semantic weight. Semantic weight, meaning they actually mean something, recognizable concepts.
Globally recognizable concepts, words, abbreviations, symbols that resonate everywhere. Think H2O for water or B2B for business dealings. That shared understanding is incredibly rare.
So it's way beyond just being short. The meaning itself is the primary value driver.
Oh, absolutely. That's the leap. The name stops being just a shortcut to an address and becomes potentially a brand foundation or even a piece of critical infrastructure for a public good.
Okay, let's explore that public good side first. Part 2. H2O.eth. The digital river, as the notes call it.
Yeah, H2O, I mean, it's instantly understood everywhere. Water, the chemical formula for life itself. It has this huge emotional symbolic power.
More than almost any other digital asset could have, really. It cuts across languages, cultures, everything.
And philosophically, it lines up perfectly with that public good vision of Web3, doesn't it? Open access, shared value, transparency.
The notes use that phrase, digital river of meaning. It sounds great, very poetic, but how does that translate into actual function? How does flow and purity become a useful tool for, someone listening right now?
It translates because that universal meaning builds instant trust and provides context that allows it to serve some really concrete functional roles, acting like a transparent public utility layer.
Okay, break down those use cases for us. What could H2O.eth do?
Well, first, think of it as a public good DAO, a decentralized organization managing water projects. Imagine funding clean water initiatives or tracking resource allocation, all transparently managed under H2O.eth.
Using subdomains, maybe?
Yeah.
Like projects.h2o.eth.
Exactly. Or Africa.h2O.eth for a specific campaign. It gives immediate verifiable context and builds trust for donors or participants.
That transparency is key for funding, I imagine.
Hugely important. Second, it could anchor an environmental data network. You could map thousands of IoT sensors, tracking water quality, rainfall, reservoir levels, all reporting back through H2O.eth subdomains.
A global, decentralized water monitoring system.
Potentially, yes. Third, it could facilitate a tokenized water economy, linking things like water credits, sustainability NFTs, or DeFi protocols directly to H2O.eth to finance conservation or infrastructure projects.
And it acts as that trusted brand layer for NGOs or climate tech companies using it.
Right. It becomes a stamp of legitimacy and transparency on the blockchain. It's about coordinating activity around sustaining life.
Okay, sustaining life through flow and transparency. Now let's do a hard pivot from the river to the factory floor. Part 3. B2B.eth, the industrial heart.
Yeah, B2B, business to business. It's one of the most common, most understood abbreviations in the entire global economy. It signifies trade, supply chains, professional collaboration.
So where H2O is about, well, universal survival needs, B2B is about the structure that sustains our economies.
Exactly. It's about structured cooperation. So owning B2B.eth isn't just holding a short, recognizable name. Conceptually, it's like holding the keys to the front door of decentralized enterprise infrastructure.
The industrial heart of the decentralized web, as the notes put it, symbolizing structure, coordination, trust between businesses.
And that aligns perfectly with the other philosophical pole of Web3, the commercial network pole, focused on verified exchange, efficient cooperation, removing friction in business.
So what are the specific use cases here? How does B2B.eth enable better, maybe more trustless commerce compared to how things work now?
Well, the main goal is cutting out intermediaries and building trust programmatically. One big application is an enterprise directory DAO.
Like a decentralized yellow pages for verified businesses.
Sort of, but much more powerful. Verified companies get subdomains, think ibm.b2b.eth or logistics.b2b.eth. They link their official wallets, their smart contracts. It allows for transparent, permissionless interaction.
That could slice through so much red tape in B2B onboarding and verification.
Right. Another use case, a decentralized invoicing system. Map smart contracts for payments to subdomains like payments.b2b.eth. You could have secure on-chain settlement between companies, instantly verifiable, cross-border, minimal fees.
Okay, that's powerful. What else?
It could underpin a reputation framework, linking the B2B.eth identity to verifiable credentials, transaction histories, compliance records. Think automated due diligence for supply chains or partnerships.
Building trust through verified data tied to the name.
Precisely. And finally, it can serve as a trust layer for enterprise DAO governance, managing multi-signature wallets, coordinating treasuries, verifying partners within complex consortia. It's about organizing economic activity through structure.
Wow. Okay, so H2O.eth organizes humanitarian efforts through flow and transparency.
And B2B.eth organizes economic efforts through structure and verification. It's quite a contrast, but shows the breadth of what ENS could enable.
It's really striking that just 3 characters, H2O or B2B, can carry the potential weight of global water issues or global trade infrastructure.
Yeah.
It makes you think differently about naming itself.
It really does, and it highlights this fundamental tension or maybe synergy between public good and private enterprise in this new digital realm.
So if these names have such huge philosophical and practical weight, how does the market even begin to value them? Let's get into part 4. The valuation framework.
Well, first, there's that philosophical symmetry we talked about. Both flow, like water, and structure, like business, need trust and balance to work, right? H2O.eth helps organize life-sustaining activities. B2B.eth helps organize economy-sustaining activities.
Okay, what about the dollars and cents, or rather the ETH? The sources actually laid out some specific valuation categories based on logic, not just hype.
Yeah, they proposed a 3-tier framework. Tier 1 is your baseline, symbolic 3-char ENS. These are the ones valued mainly for their shortness and collector appeal. Random letters, maybe pronounceable, but no deep meaning.
And the value range there.
Currently, the sources suggest around $10,000 to $50,000, but with potential down the line maybe reaching $100,000 to $500,000 if the overall ENS market grows. That's the scarcity floor.
Got it. Then Tier 2. The strong semantic ENS. This is where H2O.eth fits in, the digital river. How much does that universal meaning add?
Significantly. Because of that global recognition and cultural depth, the present value jumps to roughly $50,000 to $150,000, and the future potential, estimated between $500,000 and a potentially over $1 million. The meaning itself creates that higher ceiling.
Okay, quite a jump. Now, Tier 3. The Enterprise Functional ENS. This is B2B.eth, the industrial heart, driven by its strategic usefulness for business.
Right. And because of that direct commercial potential, this category has the highest projected value. Present value is pegged between $50,000 and maybe $200,000. But the future potential, if it gets integrated into real enterprise systems and maybe generates automated revenue,
Then what?
then the potential is seen as $500,000 up to maybe $2 million or even more. The utility is the key driver there.
What really jumps out, though, is that the future potential for all these categories isn't guaranteed.
Yeah.
It really hinges on actual adoption, right? Enterprises using it, DAOs building on it, integration into everyday login systems.
Absolutely. These valuations are tied directly to utility becoming reality. It's not just speculative potential forever.
Which leads to the bigger picture, maybe. Part 5, future vision and coordination.
Yeah, because the sources suggest the ultimate value here might not even be the resale price. It might be the name's power to actually organize digital identity and coordinate real-world human activity at scale.
So thinking beyond just selling the name, but using it to build something.
Exactly. Envisioning these names evolving into living ecosystems. H2O.eth isn't just a name, it's the root of a whole system of water-related subdomains and applications. Same for B2B.eth with business services.
The term used was protocol-level namespaces.
Yeah.
Like they could become fundamental pillars of how we organize things online.
Almost like the .org or .gov of the early internet, but potentially much more dynamic and integrated with value transfer and identity verification. Imagine H2O.eth powering a live, transparent global map of water
It's
projects.
funded and tracked in real time on-chain.
Or B2B.eth enabling thousands of companies to interact, transact, and verify each other almost instantly with minimal friction and maximum trust. That's coordination at a civilizational scale.
So bringing it back to you, the listener, what's the takeaway here? It seems the core idea is that ENS, especially with these meaningful names, offers a kind of shared language for our increasingly digital world.
A language to coordinate everything from vital humanitarian work to complex global supply chains. When a name carries universal meaning, it stops being just an address. It becomes a tool.
A tool for organization, for building trust where it's lacking.
They become, as the sources put it, coordinates for meaningful coordination.
Which leaves us with a pretty big question to think about. What kind of future are we actually going to build around the names we choose?
From water to business, from flow to structure, H2O.eth and B2B.eth remind us that names are not just words, they are coordinates for the future.